Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. So, wowzers. Merrick Garland must have absolutely felt the heat because, man, he just got absolutely crushed in congressional hearing today. That man must absolutely hate his job. I don't know what they must have on him to make him continue doing that job, but we should all be so thankful that the only thing that Mitch McConnell ever accomplished was making sure that that man is not on the Supreme Court. If that's it, that's great. Anyway, I imagine every time that Merrick Garland thinks about Jim Jordan, he wants to quit his job. And today is a perfect example of why. Jim Jordan did not hold back. And really, guys, it's not even about not holding back. Honestly, all Jordan said were things that the rest of us are actually thinking. And everything he said is more than fair. It's just the really intense version of more than fair. And anyway, I'll stop talking about it. I'll actually show it to you because you've absolutely got to see this. But before we do, guys, thanks to everyone that's been subscribing and leaving such great comments and taking part in the community. We really appreciate you guys. We're having a lot of fun. Take a look at this.
Himself, quote, Mr. Weiss has full authority to bring cases in other jurisdictions if he feels it's necessary. That was your response, Attorney General, to Senator Grassley's question on March 1st, 2023. You just referenced it when Mr. Bishop was questioning you. Only problem is he'd already been turned down by the U.S. Attorney in the District of Columbia, Mr. Graves. So he didn't have full authority, did he?
I had an extended conversation with Senator Grassley at the time. We briefly touched on the Section 515 question and how that process went. I've never been suggested.
My point's real simple, Mr. Garland. You said he had complete authority, but he'd already been turned down. He wanted to bring an action in the District of Columbia, and the U.S. Attorney there said, no, you can't. And then you go tell the United States Senate under oath that he has complete authority.
I'm going to say again that no one had the authority to turn him down. They could refuse to partner with him. They could not.
You can use whatever language. Refuse to partner is turning down.
Well, it's not the same under a well-known Justice Department practice.
Here's why the statute of limitations question is important, and Mr. Bishop was getting at just a few minutes ago. Here's why it's important. You let the statute of limitations lapse for 2014, 2015. Those were the years with the felony tax charges where Hunter Biden was getting income from Barisma. Here are 4 facts that I think are so important. Hunter Biden was put on the board of Barisma, made a lot of money, got paid a lot of money over those years. Couple $1 million. He wasn't qualified. Fact number 2, he wasn't qualified to be on the board of Barisma. Not my words, his words. He said he got on the board because of his last name. The brand, as Devin Archer said when he was under oath and we deposed him. Fact number 3, Barisma executives told Hunter Biden, we're under pressure, we need help. Fact number 4, Joe Biden goes to Ukraine, leverages our tax money, American people's tax money, to get the prosecutor fired who was applying the pressure. Interestingly enough, that fact is entirely consistent with what the confidential human source told the FBI, and they recorded in the 1023 form. The same form Mr. Wray didn't want to let this committee and the Congress see. That all happened. That all happened. And what I'm wondering is why you guys let the statute of limitations lapse for those tax years that dealt with Barisma income.
There's one more fact that's important, and that is that this investigation was being conducted by Mr. Weiss, an appointee of President Trump. You will, at the appropriate time, have the opportunity to ask Mr. Weiss that question, and he will no doubt address it in the public report that will be transmitted to the Congress. I don't know the answer to those questions.
Did they forget? Did the lawyers just like let it, did they just like, oh, darn, we let it, were they careless?
I expect that won't be what he says, but because I promised...
You know that's not the case, because as Mr. Bishop pointed out, they had a tolling agreement. They talked to Hunter Biden's defense counsel and say, let's extend the statute of limitations. And then at some point, they made an intentional decision to say, we're going to let the statute of limitations lapse. And I want to know who decided that and why they did it.
Mr. Weiss was a supervisor of the investigation at that time and at all times. He made the appropriate decisions, and you'll be able to ask him that question, and he will. You
know why they did it? Everyone knows why they did it. May not say it, but everyone knows why they did it. They didn't. Barisma, those tax years, that dealt with that involved the president. It's one thing to have a gun charge in Delaware. That doesn't involve the president of the United States. But Barisma, oh my, that goes right to the White House. We can't have that. And we can slow walk this thing along. We can even extend the statute of limitations, and then we can intentionally let it lapse. And we know this investigation was slow. Here's what everyone said. Shapley said, DOJ slow-walked the investigation. Ziegler, slow-walking in the approvals of everything. This happened at the Delaware's attorney's office and DOJ tax level. Mr. Sobocinski, the FBI agent, said, I would have liked to see things move faster. Ms. Holly said the same. Every witness we've talked to said this thing was slow-walked, and we know why. They slow-walked it long enough to let the statute of limitations run so they wouldn't have to get into Barisma. Tell me where I'm wrong.
Wow. Wow. So yeah, man, absolutely bringing the heat. Thank you. Thank you very, very much to Jim Jordan for saying out loud what anyone who was paying attention is actually thinking. And I don't think anyone could have said it any better. He really lays out, how the Barisma thing looks and how it looks with the, expiring statute of limitations. It's crazy to me, honestly, how many of our mushy brain over propagandized fellow citizens really do buy into all this stuff. They believe literally everything that they are told, even when it goes against every bit of what little common sense that they actually have left. Anyway, guys, I thought you deserved to see that. That's just my take. Let me know yours in the comments. And if you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. We'll see you in the next one.